Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here, and a Happy New Year. The Old World is back. The return of Warhammer Fantasy is officially here. Man, I was not expecting to be talking the return of the Old World again so soon. But once again, GW dropped a huge reveal and treat on Warhammer community yesterday for New Year's Eve. And well, here we are. What a way to kick off the new year. We knew the Old World release was going to be soon in the new year, and I did not expect it to be this quick. This coming Saturday, January 6th, the pre-order for Warhammer The Old World arrives. As usual, all the information is over on the Warhammer community website, so head over there to check it out for yourself as usual, as I am going to do right now. So, last week we saw and discussed the reveals dropped on Boxing Day of the two big starter sets. The news that rather than launching with your classic battle box set, the Old World's instead returning with two huge army boxes instead. One for Bretonnia and one for the Tomb Kings of Khemri. So we won't dwell on this because we've already discussed them. However, I will say these classic pictures on the white background do make the forces look even better. Like it really lays out clearly how much you're getting in the force. At this point, as I'm recording this bright and early on New Year's Day, there's no confirmation of pricing. I've seen some rumours, but to be honest, most people just seem to be guessing, so we'll have to wait and see. Maybe by the time you're watching this we may have confirmation out there, but at this point there is nothing concrete. So I don't see a point in discussing pricing until we know for sure. I've still got my fingers crossed for a nice discount as you'd normally get in the launch set, even if this is technically two army boxes. And I'm sure we'll get one on some level, but hey, we'll just have to wait and see. Now again, it's showing us the rulebooks, the army books and arcane journals that are coming out for pre-order as well. As a quick recap, the army list books are separated into one for the good factions and one for evil. And it contains all the information you need to play any of the particular factions. As a note, that's the supported factions for the new Old World, if you will. Not all the old school fantasy factions are going to be in Warhammer The Old World at this point at least. For the forces of fantasy, or the good guys, we have the Dwarfs, Empire, Bretonnia, Wood Elves and High Elves. For the Ravening Hordes, aka Evil, we have Orcs and Goblins, Warriors of Chaos, Beastmen and Tomb Kings. Now, there is going to be a PDF at some point after release, so you can play with the other older factions not included currently if you want, such as the Dark Elves, Lizardmen, Vampire Counts, etc. And then, I don't know, hopefully at some point in the future, we'll get some expansions which will reintroduce those other factions, like the return of Vlad in Sylvania, or a Black Ark invasion for the Dark Elves for example. Who knows, only time will tell. As for the arcane journals, they contain a bit more specific information on a particular faction, such as lore, rules and heroes. Again at release it's launching with Bretonnia and Tomb Kings. Now the big information here is it shows us a range of Bretonnian and Tomb King models that'll be available for pre-order. So, let's take a look at the Bretonnian range we're going to get. So, first up we've got the new Battle Standard Bearer on Royal Pegasus, which is a very nice looking set. We've got the return of the old school Pegasus Knights. Next we've got the Grail Knights and Grail Knights Command, the old school shock troop cavalry for the Bretonnians, the Battle Pilgrims and Grail Relic, Mounted Yeoman and the Command, the new Handmaiden of the Lady, and this is a Forge World resin model, and this one can be used as a damsel or prophetess. We've then got the awesome looking new Battle Standard Bearers, on foot and mounted, again another Forge World resin set. Questing Knight Paladin on foot, another awesome looking new sculpt, again Forge World resin. And then we've got the dice and cards to round it out for Bretonnia. Now, I'm assuming this is the full range of Bretonnia at release. Of course, we do have the classic Knights of the Realm, the Men-at-Arms and Archers in the Launch Army box, and I'd assume they would be available for individual pre-order as well, but they aren't listed here, so don't take my word for it, we'll just have to wait and see. And I am a little surprised there's no Questing Knights unit here, which immediately strikes me, as well as the other units we've seen revealed in the past, such as the Trebuchet and the new Knights on Foot. So it definitely looks like there's going to be separate waves of pre-orders at a later date, with these extra units still to come. However, moving on to the Tomb Kings, again we have the Arcane Journal, but then the return of the awesome looking Tomb Guard. And I've got to say, I forgot just how gorgeous these guys are. I'm not a huge fan of the basic spearman skeleton for the Tomb Kings, but man, these Tomb Guard look great. Really nice, I completely forgot about them, so it's definitely a good one to see them back. We've then got the Sepulchral Stalkers, which can be built alternately as the Necropolis Knights, again another gorgeous unit. The Necro Sphinx, or alternately the War Sphinx, reminding us all why the Tomb Kings had one of the best old school looking ranges out there. The man himself, Cetra the Imperishable. I'm not going to lie, I was kinda hoping for him to get a new model, but I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The man himself returns to conquer the old world, because as we all know, Cetra does not serve. And it's literally just popped into my head here looking at Cetra, but we haven't seen the new Bretonnian king yet, have we? Has that guy been revealed over the past year? I don't think he has. So we're still waiting on him, the new big man for Bretonnia. And saying that, also the Green Knight isn't listed here in the pre-orders either, so add him onto the list for a later wave release as well. There's definitely some most wanted still to come for Bretonnia, to say the least. However then, we've got the Lich Priest, which is a metal model, the Ushabti with their great blades or great bows, a new Tomb King which is Forge World resin, the new Standard Bearer which we checked out last week, again a new resin set, and the same for the Tomb Swarms, with of course the cards and dice rounding out the set. And then we've got the generic cards for magic items, laws of magic, the card sleeves, all the new bases, as don't forget they have increased in size, and then modular movement trays, which let's be honest is a must for fantasy. A poster of the old world, which is a meter long. I'll be honest, if this was canvas or fabric I would have definitely gone for this, as I've been looking for an old school Warhammer map to go on the wall for ages. But then to round it out for the old world, we've also got the first new novel for the setting incoming too, with the Lords of the Lance, written by author Graham McNeil. So plenty on the way. Again, there's a few curious omissions from the range, so it definitely looks like there'll be a separate wave a few weeks down the line. But either way, we're just going to have to wait and see. One thing's for sure though, as early as I thought this was going to come in 2024, I did not expect it to come this quick. So this is a real surprise. I definitely thought we were going to get the Dark Angels Deathwing box set before the old world. But anyway, it's just great to have the old world back. Fingers crossed we don't have to wait too long for the other factions to get their releases. Because for me, I really think that's the key. Getting the other factions up and running too. But hey, the old world is here. The Bretonnians and the Tomb Kings have arrived. We can now see exactly what is going to be available on the pre-order. And not only that, it's dropping this coming Saturday, January the 6th. Good times ahead. But anyway, that's it for today. Just reacting to the big news from last night. and we're back with our 40k lore chat as usual next up on Wednesday. So I hope you've all had a great new year last night, and as usual I'll see you all again real soon.